and welcome. Today's guest is one of my running buddies, Erica Zander. Hi, Erica.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. Let me start by asking you, how did you get started with running?
I started with human training in 2007, training for the Chicago Marathon.
Mhm.
I joined through the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society as my mom had a bone marrow transplant back in 2002. So that was to raise money for continued research, medicine, grants, and just to support the cause that bought her a lot more time.
Mhm. And so, you mentioned running the Chicago Marathon. You've done that quite a few times.
I've done it every year since 2007. Last year, I did it virtually with a group of team and training runners since the marathon was in essence canceled.
So you could probably run it blindfolded.
Most likely, yeah, I would say so. I mean, they haven't changed the course, maybe like a few turns here and there, but
Wow.
it's.
Um, so have you done other marathons or are you a Chicago gal?
I've done a Fort Lauderdale a number of times, a very flat, easy course. Disney, one of my favorite races, again, with team and training, there's always a huge group of people, supporters down there running the Dopey Challenge, which is the 5K, 10K, half, and full. I mean, if you're going to go down there, you just can't run a marathon if you have the opportunity to do 48.6 miles. I think that's it, or 46.8, one or the other.
Crazy. I don't know how you
Yes.
do it. Um, so what is your night before the race routine look like?
I keep it pretty much the same as my daily routines now. As far as carb loading, what works best for me is to have bigger meals like a couple of days beforehand, and like a light, sensible dinner the actual night before the meal. This way, your body can store that nutrition, and you're not waking up the next morning. And let's all be honest, and saying, I need to go to the bathroom and I can't go. You don't want to have to use the porta potty during the race.
Mhm.
So
And do you have any routines? Like, do you lay your stuff out the night before?
I will lay my stuff out the night before. I'll start a checklist a couple days beforehand, sometimes a couple of weeks if I'm traveling, just so you don't forget stuff. You want to make sure you have your throwaway clothes and you just don't forget something that you need, like forget to charge your Garmin, forget to charge your earbuds, or forget to put the Gatorade in the freezer so your bottles are half frozen and your when I'm liquids stay like cool as long as they can.
Yep.
So
Um, do you, when you're training, do you prefer to run with a group? I know you run quite a bit with the team and training folks, but what's your preference, running with a group or do you run by yourself?
yeah,
Or
I love both.
Mhm.
With running with a group, you always have conversation. It goes by so fast, and you just have a good time. Sometimes we all work, we all have other obligations. So this morning I got up at 4:30 to go run.
Wow.
And obviously during the week, getting a group of people together at 4:30, unless if we all live within blocks of each other, which some of us do, some of us don't, you don't have that advantage to get everybody together.
Mhm. Do you feel like it's like a lot of people talk about, how, okay, it clears my mind, it relieves stress. Is that something that it does for you as well?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just a positive way to stay healthy, clear your mind,
Mhm.
and get through life.
And if somebody, finds out that you've run a bazillion marathons and they say, I'm thinking about trying running, what advice do you give them?
Just do it. I mean, just start. Even if you go out and you start with running down the block and then walking and
Mhm.
then running another block, just do what works best for you. I mean, you're doing more than the person who just talks about it. So give it a try.
Good advice. And what would you say, besides the obvious physical benefits of getting out and exercising, what has running brought to your life?
The majority of my friends, because
Mhm.
you would never think something as awful as cancer would give you such an amazing gift of a phenomenal group of friends.
Mhm.
That is one thing as far as running and team and training. It's a blessing in disguise.
Mhm. Yeah, well, we would have never met
No,
if,
we wouldn't have. I mean, it's just one of those things.
yeah.
When you talk to our friends, your fellow runners, they've
Mhm.
all experienced what you're experiencing in essence, whether it's being the person who fought cancer or being the daughter, son, sister, brother, person attached to that person who was fighting cancer.
Yeah. And I think, we all see each other, in training or whether it's at a race, kind of at our best and at our worst. And I think that really forges connections between people.
It does. I mean,
So,
it's something we just can't hide stuff from each other, because it's like you can say, you know what, I'm calling your bluff. There's something wrong. What's going on?
yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about it that way, but
It's like, come on, I've scoped out people running by while you've gone potty in the forest. We've done a lot more together than most people.
so true. So what do you have, favorite brands that you use, or do you try things? I mean, obviously we don't try anything new on race day, but, are you kind of, this is what I use, or do you experiment with different things?
Yeah, I like the Cloud9s. I think that's what they're called for running. I'm very partial to those. I've been using those for a couple of years now for running, walking, whatever, and I'm very happy with them.
Mm-hmm. How about like hydration and things like that?
Hydration, I'll usually do a little bit of Gatorade and water.
Mm-hmm.
Pretzels, like with booze and the actual like nutrition they advertise, I've had bad reactions in previous years. 2007, the year they cut off the marathon, I was big on the vanilla goose. I can't even eat vanilla frost just because the consistency and the texture, it's just,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
Yeah, it kind of.
I'll do pretzels, fruit, so I'll do like actual food.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us this
Thank you.
morning and sharing your running story. So I'm going to assume that you are running the Chicago Marathon in 2021.
Yes, I am.
Well, I will probably be out there cheering for you.
Yay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're with Erica and Lori now. Woo-woo!